everybody. Bienvenue, willkommen, welcome to Impossible Coin, where, whether we like it or not, it is 2025.
Sure.
Rocky Hardy, how do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I have some
Team
plans.
Somerset, how do you feel about 2025?
I'm ready.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
I, Brian Cartwright, your host, am not ready for 2025.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not. I see, a Cybertruck on fire outside of a Trump hotel, and I'm like, yep. This feels very much the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I get that much.
Yeah. Ugh. So Rocky, you just did a heckin' vacation.
Well, sort of. Yeah, I went home for the holidays. It was a bit of a Hallmark movie, but I had fun. I got to see a lot of people and check in on a lot of the things that were important to me. The suburb that I grew up in is apparently it's been expanding rapidly. And more than when they got that Walmart 5 years ago or whatever. There's 2 Whataburgers and a Starbucks in this suburb that I grew up in with 5,000 people when I was a kid. There's a local ramen spot that apparently is the new hotness. There's an Amazon distribution center out there now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been gone? When did you leave?
I left my hometown 3 years ago. But I grew up there in the 90s, where there was basically nothing out there.
Wait, have you been in Ohio for 3 years?
Yeah.
It's I think Halloween 2022 is when I got here.
I truly am just going to walk into the desert and turn into a skeleton.
No, you're not.
You're
not.
man.
Time marches on.
Yeah, man.
That's normal.
We're out here doing stuff.
I don't know about all that. Wow. I was like, yeah, he's been out there about a year and a half. And no, that is not accurate. That is not real. That's not a thing. So, okay. But, so you invoked a Hallmark movie, and I think, the real test as to whether or not it was a Hallmark movie is well, which is bigger? The town you currently live in Ohio, or the area that you were visiting when you were in Texas?
Well, lucky for me, they're about the same.
There it is. So I don't think that the Hallmark alchemy is possible if they're about the same.
Well, maybe there's that. I did go home for Christmas, and it is a different environment than what I was from. But I think it wasn't big city versus little city. That's probably fair. I mean, maybe technically this city's bigger because it's a capital, but in terms of population, size, drivability or whatever, they're about the same.
And I don't think you could necessarily come from your job in Ohio at the Architectural Advertising Bakery, and come back home to learn how to love, because you're oh, go ahead.
No, I get what you mean. No, I understand what you're saying. I just remember the fact that actually I was going to where my work actually is, because I'm still working that one job.
The Architectural Advertising Bakery is in Texas.
Yeah.
And he's visiting it for the holidays.
Yeah, I did go. So I went to go visit my like my family and stuff. I stayed with them, but like I basically stacked up enough days to be off from like Christmas to New Year's. Um, Unfortunately, because of my flight, that meant that I had to work in the office on Monday and Tuesday. But even that was like mostly okay.
So you went to a place and saw people,
Hmm.
and normally you don't even have to do that because you're like not even in the same state as them.
Right.
But so like, why couldn't you just work from like? I take it your job is a laptop. Like, could you not laptop from like your folks' house?
My job's not really a laptop. Like I actually need like the like 4 screen setup essentially. And so like I wasn't gonna fly here with those screens or ask them to like give me the screens in that like in the house.
Wait, so
Because
do you do your job from the PC that you own?
no, I don't.
Okay.
I have a thin client and like a whole setup, but so I work off of a VM, but like I still need the screens.
Okay. Wait, are you? I guess I'll revise. So like your work stuff isn't necessarily like locally stored on your personal PC, but are
No.
you still accessing work things from your personal computer? Is the thing
No.
that you were using to rustle the virtual client? Was that also a no?
Also no. Yeah, I have a thin client. Like it's just like like a micro PC that like remote connects to like a server or some kind.
Oh, okay. And then you had to go to the office.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't so bad, but like
Did they treat you like a weird novelty?
no. My group is very gang. It turns out, um, there are the people that aren't in my department that are really into Harry Potter, but like that's like literally the
Oh,
worst part to deal
oh
with.
no, oh no, oh no.
They live at every office. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh. You seem
I'm
like
sure you have some in your office, Brian.
Yeah,
yeah, I don't fucking know them.
yeah, that's fair.
But then again, my own strategy for like surviving return to office is different than most.
Sure.
Like so I was like, so what you're saying is that anybody can access the internal website where we book conference rooms, right? Yeah, anybody can access it. So anybody can book a conference room. Yep,
Right.
anybody can book a conference room. And you're not going to tell me that I can't book a conference room. No, we're not going to tell you that. So, what if every day I had to go into the office, I just booked a conference room for the entire time that I was there, so that way I didn't have to see anybody? They're like, well, theoretically you could do that, but we try and reserve the conference rooms for in-person collaboration. Well, tough rocks, pal, because I'm going to just sit in this room alone all day. Very exciting. I love it.
For sure.
So yeah, so there could theoretically be Hufflepuffs somewhere on my floor,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not my problem. It's not my problem. I don't know the Hufflepuffs. What my building does have, which I like, is that as long as you are willing to go through the paperwork and jump through the hoops, people are allowed to bring their regular old doggos, which are not in any way service animals, to work. You can just bring your dog.
Amazing.
Yeah,
For sure.
and I like that because something that like sets my hair on end is when people are like, "Oh yeah, I assure you, this is my service animal."
Yeah, I
And you're
hate
like,
that shit.
"Yeah, that shit really pisses me off."
And they
But
just said, "We know it's not your service animal. Bring him anyway."
Right.
yeah, so them doing that means that like nobody's trying to pull malarkey, and occasionally you'll just be like, what's that? What's that? Oh, it's a doggo. There is there is an elderly doggo I sometimes see in the building. Something that looks like a small mop head with a significant underbite.
No, buddy. I love that. I love that for them.
And because they are an old doggo, they get pushed around in a stroller.
Oh, they're a prince.
Yes. And they have like a kind of like a royal blue collar with a bow on it, and so it's nice. I like this ancient doggo. Was in the elevator once with that doggo, and they did a heckin' gigantic sneeze. And I just looked down and was like, "Look at that huge underbite and that giant snot bubble! Goddamn!" Like, old doggies are great. I hereby endorse old dogs. They're dogs. They're fun when they're no longer puppies.
So like, there's a bit of complicated situation with Her Majesty's place. My brothers got these dogs. They're like Labrador like mixes. They're pretty big dogs. It's like it's like a Labrador, Lab Pit, and like a Lab Boxer.
Full size models.
Yeah. And they had puppies at some point. So now there's just 4 of these dogs in my mom's house.
Oh no.
And it's she loves them to death, it's a whole thing. Like they're gonna bury her with those dogs. It's just what it is. But like they are 4 huge dogs, and Her Majesty is not a huge lady or anything. She's just a regular sized lady, but she's got for some reason the primary responsibility of like dealing with these dogs, and they just bark whenever someone walks in the house. You got 4 full-size dogs barking whenever the front door is open. It's definitely a bit of an ordeal.
No.
They just want to let you know.
Yeah.
Someone's here. Hey, someone's here. I don't know if you heard me. Someone's here.
Yeah. And there's a whole complicated ecosystem because, the 2 initial dogs, which also belong to my brothers, technically, they have a complicated relationship. So, my mom has these indoor cages for them. And so, it's its own, management sim to just, keep track of who's supposed to be out when. Or which dogs can be out in combination. And that was a bit of a challenge those 2 weeks and whatnot. The dogs are great. They're fun to play with or whatever, but it's just if these 2 are out at the same time, they're going to fight. That's just what it is. And
do your brothers live there?
My brothers do live there.
Okay. Man, they need to look after the dogs.
I know. Yeah. I'm with you there. That makes sense to me. Turns out it's different in practice, but also I don't live there. So I can't even, you know what I mean? I get in their face about it, but it's just
there's something about the out of town relative weighing in on day-to-day stuff like that, which by the way, you should look after your dogs, which you're just well, you don't can live here, man.
Yeah.
I hear you. But between you, me, Tegan, and Oklahoma, they should look after those fucking dogs.
Yeah, they should, man. Jesus Christ.
Good Lord.
Mm.
If you're gonna dog, just you gotta commit.
True.
Gotta commit.
Oh man,
man,
it's also a whole other thing because we in that house we grew up taking care of very, very different, very numerous amounts of dogs. I think from when I was a kid to when I ultimately moved out, I may have looked after / cared for some upward of 20 or 30 dogs over those years.
That's so many dogs. Holy shit. So it's not like you don't know how to do dogs.
Right. My brother, the brothers that still live there, they didn't get all of that experience for sure. And a good chunk of it is probably hands off just because, they were the younger ones. So it is also something else. I don't know what my oldest younger brother who was there for most of those, I don't know if he's waited on that at all or anything. But like, it also seems like the kind of thing that he would kind of like wash his hands of. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't live here. I'm a family man now. That reminds me. Did I tell you guys my oldest younger brother is a family man now?
No.
He's got
I love these updates.
he's got like 2 daughters now, and like a wife in like a very small wedding in somewhere else in Texas. So he doesn't live in town or anything, but like he's like he is a division of the Hardy family now. You know, it's kind of wild.
So
was this new information?
Not super new. I think the
Okay.
second daughter's probably new. I think I told you that like he like ended up with some girl and they got married, and like we didn't know much about her. But Her Majesty has visited a couple of times. Like that there, she's not Her Majesty, she's Kiwi, which is a whole other thing.
Kiwi. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. I love that for Her Majesty.
Yeah, she's having
as
fun.
long as she's happy with it, I'm happy for her.
She's in a good spot, I think. You know, she's also been like this is a small embarrassment for her, is that the house has rarely been like super clean. Like there's always clutter and there's like stuff going on, and like things are like kind of always in transit, and they didn't help that like she spent a lot of time out of the house because she was working a lot. But now that she's retired, she's like been on like a home improvement kick, and there's a lot of stuff that's gotten done. Like a lot of TVs have been replaced, and they're all mounted now, and apparently she's been doing the mounting. She's redone her bedroom so that like there's a lot less like clutter and like space, and there's more space like to like walk around and just like be in.
Mhm.
She finally mounted a TV in like the kitchen, because I know like for years she would just like prop up like an iPhone with like something that she was watching or listening to, and now she just has a whole ass TV that's like just set up, and that's great. Like Her Majesty's in a good spot, like, you know, short of the dogs, and the dogs are a thing that's like functioning. It's not ideal for sure, but like she's on the up and up for sure.
So there's things that happen when there's a lot of dogs and they get out of control, when they'll just great example is dogs who haven't been brought up right are like, you know what? I want to chew the end of this coffee table. Is there any coffee table chewing going on?
No. Actually, because of the cages largely, like they don't have a lot of like roam around time, which is its own thing for sure. But like, you know, the furniture's in good good condition. Like I think we actually have, and this might be a Southwestern thing, because I don't think you could get away with it in the Midwest. There's a lot of metal furniture, like, you know, glass top stuff or whatever. But like, you know, like the coffee table is just like wrought iron. And then like outside of like the you know, like the sitting furniture, which like the dogs like generally don't get on, because they have been brought up to do so. Like there's little danger of them damaging a lot of stuff like that. There's like a faux wood, like, you know, I guess it was an entertainment center at the time, but a lot of those have been like cycled out because of all the TV mounts and stuff.
Oh man. So I remember, okay, so a billion years ago,
sure,
you know, shortly after I, you know, moved to the Valley, I was in second shitty apartment, and wanted a dog that could, you know, play with and be a companion for the dog that I had. The dog that I had was, by everybody's estimation who met the dog, the world's sweetest, kindest, mellowest pit bull. In fact, I remember when I was taking that dog through obedience training, so that way renter's insurance would be cheaper. Because normally renter's insurance has like a list of like 6 breeds that if you have one of those 6 breeds, you're like, oh, God, your renter's insurance is through the roof. But if you take them through obedience training, it gets cheaper. So dog is in obedience training. being a sweet baby, learning how to be even better dog.
Mm.
And she got attacked by a basset hound. And
Jesus.
when she got attacked by the basset hound, her response was to simply like roll over and present her belly.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Basset hound
Poor
got
little
kicked
guy.
out. So when I went to like get a companion dog for my first dog, the shelter sure as heck definitely was doing everything they could to try and like send me home with a dog that nobody wanted. Like
Right.
that was their strat. Because
Right.
like I would initially like get Kendall to like play with dogs that seemed like a good fit. Kendall was a very lazy couch potato dog. And there was a greyhound there, and greyhounds are just notoriously like very lazy chill out dogs. And this is great. And so like she was just kind of like lazing with the greyhound, and then the shelter person says, "Oh, you know what? Maybe the greyhound's not a good fit because we actually have a guy who comes and adopts all the greyhounds. He's the greyhound guy."
Okay.
So let's not look at the greyhound, so that way the greyhound guy can come get the greyhound. And I'm like, I didn't realize that there was a guy who just called dibs on a. I'm like, how big is this guy's fucking property that you're just going along with the idea of him adopting all the, like, how many acres does he have for all these fucking greyhounds that you're just like, oh yeah, just keep on getting them, man. Just keep on getting the greyhounds. Because they were into it. They're like, oh yeah, there's the greyhound guy. And
he's coming. We know.
Yep. And so then, looked at this like hilarious dachshund poodle mix.
Okay.
Which looked like a fuzzy hot dog.
Oh, that sounds so great.
Yeah.
That sounds like the perfect dog.
And like it made like weird little like noises when it like tried to like ramp up to full speed.
Yeah.
And it was like bleh, 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 just like being this little happy cloud orbiting Kendall. And Kendall was like, "Oh, you're a strange little happy cloud. I like you." And then the same person who was like, "No greyhound for you," was like, "You know what? There's a woman, Mrs. Fisher, and we think that that dog would be perfect for her. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and put that dog back."
Oh my god!
What the fuck? I'm like, what dogs do you have that somebody hasn't called dibs on? Sorry, I'm not the greyhound guy or Mrs. Fisher. So then they brought out this fucking dog.
Okay.
And I had that kind of like glassy-eyed 1,000-yard stare that dogs sometimes have when they haven't necessarily had the best of lives. And they're like, "Yeah, look at this dog. Isn't this dog great?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, serious question. Like I have cats at home. Part of what I need is a dog which is good with cats, and I can't exactly bring cats down here to test. How's this dog with cats? They're like, "Oh, great, super, fantastic, the best ever, we promise." This dog here is exactly what you need. Dog had no interest in Kendall whatsoever. Didn't want to like associate with Kendall or socialize. Get the dog home, because they sent out like 3 people to like lean on me and be like, "Oh, this is the dog for you. This is the perfect fit. This dog is a perfect fit." Get the dog home, trots into the house. The first thing it does is to begin gnawing on the corner of the coffee table.
Jesus.
Just like walks through the door and just like, yep, just starts working the jaw. Then it sees the cats and then like immediately like takes off like blue lightning on a murder mission. And I'm like, okay, that's not great. Call the shelter, like, "Oh yeah, no, that dog is great with cats." you'll probably just need to like work on integration. Maybe like put some like blankets out, which like smell like the cats. Get them used to the smell. I'm like I don't know. That dog seemed like it wanted murder. Like, no, really. Trust us. And then, like, a couple of days later, I'm, like, getting ready to go to work, and we're still having to keep this dog separate from the cats. And I come out into the living room and kitchen nook area, like, where my little kitchen table is. And this dog is full-on standing on top of the kitchen table.
Amazing!
I'm like, how did you even get up there, you weird goon?
So they're a platformer. That's cool.
They were a platformer. The next day, I come out there, and this was obviously a much lower table. They're standing on the coffee table while chewing the coffee table.
Oh God!
Yeah, but the straw that broke the camel's back was this was a second story apartment, so we were on a second floor, and had to temporarily put the dog on the balcony because it had started showing aggression toward Kendall, the dog, in addition to the cats.
All right.
And so we're like, okay, so we're going to put the cats in the bedroom. We're going to put Kendall in the living room and kitchen nook area, and we're going to put the weird red dog on the balcony. Go do the thing we need to do, and then come back. When we came back, there was a window for the balcony that looked in on the master bedroom, and the red dog had shattered the pane of glass in an effort to get to the cats for murder.
Oh my God!
Yeah, broke a window trying to get to cats. And it was one of those things where like the shelter had like if for some reason the dog doesn't work out within 7 days,
right?
There's no surrender fee to return the dog, and so brought the dog back to the shelter, and the person who was performing intake of the dog was one of the ones that had like strong armed me into taking the dog in the first place, and they just like said to me, "Oh, you don't want to put in the work."
Oh, all right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I don't know when you said like just all these like herd of Labrador mixes. I just immediately pictured like 4 dogs all standing on tables just staring, and I was like, oh man, oh no,
oh man,
sounds like a hellscape. But I'm glad it's not a hellscape.
Yeah, it's not that bad. But, like, it is an inconvenience. But, sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah, it's true.
And again, she loves those dogs, so.
So it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
If Her Majesty's happy, then I'm happy.
True enough.
Tegan, what's going on?
Nothing.
Yeah?
Nothing's ever going on ever.
That doesn't seem real.
I mean, we had a pretty quiet holiday and stuff. I didn't go anywhere. I just saw family. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
I was gifted a bunch of tea for Christmas, so I've been doing tea and yap with all of my friends who are out of town. And I realized my ultimate calling is just to be a Victorian woman. So, that's where we're at.
You say tea and yak?
Yap. Y-A-P.
Oh, tea and yap. Okay.
Yeah, tea and yap.
Is that a thing? Is that a turn of phrase that people use?
It's so the turn of phrase that people use is this and yap, and usually this is like a photo that is accompanying whatever it is you want to do with other people. which is usually just chat. So I do tea and yap because we drink tea and we talk until we're out of tea or until we're out of hot water or until one of us has to go. That's it.
Okay. What type of tea is it?
Right now I have a lot of loose leaf tea of various stylings. But like, so, you know, everyone kind of gets to choose their own sort of thing. Or I guess we both get to choose their own because I'm not having more than one person over at a time. And then like we get cookies or something from the local bakery and just a snack on that. It's very good. I'm enjoying it, you know. A lot of the teas that I've been enjoying recently are black teas with like peppercorns in them very specifically. But they're all like other blends. Like there's other stuff blended in as well that makes them all like different. Like some of them will have like citrus fruit in them. Some of them will be more like herbal blends and that kind of thing. But like the base is generally black tea.
Sounds heckin' spicy.
It doesn't have spice. It just has like scent, if that makes sense. It'll like smell like pepper more than taste like pepper.
I like a mild tea. I like a silver needle, you know.
I imagine you would enjoy a white tea base more than a black tea base.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You know.
That is a true. I also like a good rooibos.
Yeah. I bet you would also like a rose hip. You know?
Yep. All true.
Yeah.
All true. I can do a black tea, but like I prefer my teas generally milder.
Yeah, that's fair. I always do milk and sugar in my teas, so black tea's one of the better bases for that. I can't help it. I'm British on the inside. You know?
I don't think it has anything to be British on the inside. I think you just put sweets on everything.
Yeah, I do just put sweets on everything, but you know. Yeah. But milk and sugar is the proper way to enjoy a cuppa or whatever. You know? I feel like the or whatever, you know, is doing a lot of lifting in that sentence, but it's okay.
No disputes. Man. So, I guess I want to steer this ostensibly toward gaming.
Sure, man.
Theoretically, we are a podcast about video games.
Allegedly.
Did either of y'all do much in the way of gaming over the holiday?
I kept up all the stream activities, so I'm playing Ocarina of Time using the Nintendo Switch Online thing.
I watched some of that, Tegan.
Yeah, the controls did not port over well, but I'm finally starting to get used to them, which is a positive, I'd say.
Yeah, like I must have seen you like closer to the beginning of that journey, because I definitely saw some struggle.
I mean, it's still happening. Do not get me wrong. The struggle is still occurring, but we are all the way. We're about to go to the water temple, so we're like in the second half of the game for sure.
I think what I saw was like this moment, which wasn't necessarily like a mechanical struggle. I think it was like just you didn't necessarily know how to do a thing, but like it is possible to do the thing in the game by brute forcing it, and there's a lot of that is true in Ocarina of Time. There's a lot of things you can do wrong in Ocarina of Time, and it'll just work out anyway. But like in this particular case, it was like maze where dudes run at you with spears.
Oh yeah, that's on the way to the Forest Temple.
Yes, and because the N64 was the first console with an analog control stick, the whole point of that sequence is like trying to be like, hey, look, don't just like slam the stick all the way forward here. Walk slowly. So that way it'll use like the sneak animation, like where you're
the non-existent sneak animation for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but you have to trust your sneaking. You're just walking shorter together. That's what you're doing.
Right. You're just walking shorter together, and it as long as you're getting the I have to go pee walk animation, then like the guys with the spears don't hear you, and so you can like get to like the little alcoves that you're supposed to duck into halfway down each corridor. Wait for them to pass, and then like you'll walk like you have to pee the rest of the way down.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like the day that I was watching was like the first day that you were trying to do it, but like
it was.
So you would just get into the corridor, and be like, all right, I'm in this corridor, and just like start trying to run down at full tilt boogie.
Yep. Mostly what I was trying to do is like run just diagonally to the first spot to get in. That was where I was immediately caught up because I forgot they were there. And I'm just like, oh, well, now I'm in the pit of hell, I guess, sitting in this water that I cannot get out of because they immediately turn around and slam me into the water again. Neat. And I think I ended up dying there twice. And then I got it nicer.
I think that like the idea of like running diagonally probably sounds like a good idea because like the further you get into that whole sequence, there is eventually a dude you come across where like moving diagonally is the appropriate solution. And so like I could see how like one's brain to go like, oh yeah, well there's that guy later on who's at the top of a staircase where like moving diagonally is the correct answer. So why isn't diagonally just the correct answer for everything here? These are all the same enemy. Like, why would they have different treatments? Wait a minute, is that whole sequence just like, hey, you're navigating a 3D space tutorial shit?
No, I don't think it's a tutorial. It is supposed to be like, hey, you can use your Z target to look around corners, but the camera is not sharp enough to really see around the corner. So I was just like, I'll just run diagonal. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And eventually it worked out. So.
God, all camera control on the N64 is just so bad. Like.
Yeah. My biggest complaint right now is that Navi is supposed to be your like Z target thing. But Navi has to catch something in order for you to Z target to that thing. And as opposed to now, when you Z target something, if you have a companion, the companion will then move to the thing you are Z targeting. And I just want to commit a crime about it, but I won't. They're old. They didn't know. They're old. It's the first time they were doing this kind of thing. Mistakes were made. It has been improved since, but like, God,
it's rough. Like there's definitely like stuff. Like it is just such a bucket of ice water to like come back to some of those like N64 like Nintendo first party titles where they're just trying to figure out how to translate these mechanics into like 3D spaces and man, because like there is some stuff in Mario 64 which is just straight up not fun at all now. You're just like, oh no, like how did because of like how terrible the camera control is. Like, I think it's like the 15th level, the one where you're like riding the magic carpet around an area, and it's like, okay, you're gonna ride this magic carpet, and if you one bad jump and you like fall to your death, and it just so like you, it requires like infinite patience because it's terrible to like try and like gauge distance between things that you're supposed to be jumping on and off of, and you can't really like the C buttons are terrible for moving cameras and just I remember the thing that for Ocarina of Time that like was frustration for me was because they didn't want to give Link a jump button, but wanted it to be like a space which wasn't flat. Like they're like, yeah, well, what if Link just automatically jumps? What if Link auto jumps?
Yeah, when you approach a ledge at speed.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, Nintendo, do you promise that Link auto-jumping won't fuck me? Oh, yeah, we super promise. We super promise Link auto-jumping won't fuck you.
Damn.
Really? Just kidding.
Just kidding! Link auto-jumping definitely is gonna fuck you. Like, oh. Man. It's... Like, it's so weird. Like, the thing I associate most with Ocarina of Time now is speed running.
Yeah.
And randomizers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, just like vanilla Ocarina of Time, just like, oh, whatever. It's this game which is mostly just okay. You know? Like,
I think more things should have speed runs and like randomizers. Like, what if you went to like Macbeth, but it was randomized somehow?
You say randomized Macbeth?
Yeah, randomized Macbeth. We'll speed run the Darjeeling Unlimited. We'll see how it feels. See if it creates a new genre somehow.
What is it like? The lens of truth that you need to get through? I'm sorry, I'm really like digging up my.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
Yeah,
dusting off my Ocarina knowledge. It's like a pseudo maze, right? Where it's like if you have the lens of truth, you can see your way through the maze,
right?
But like, yeah, it was the first major time save in speed running Ocarina when people are like, oh yeah, I guess the way through. Yeah, you don't actually need the lens of truth to get through this area. You just need to remember the path through this area.
Yeah, because it doesn't actually change.
Yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me. I've been playing through like Dark Souls 1 again because like I wanted to do a particular build on one of these people now, unfortunately. Okay. But there's a segment in the game where you get to a place. It's like it's called the Crystal Cave. For those in the know, and like it's literally what it is. It's a descending like labyrinth cave that's like largely made of crystal, and there are a few like pathways that are just invisible, and you're not supposed to see them. But well, like you're supposed to see them, but like you know they are actually just invisible. The thing that the game does is that it has like these little like crystal like fragments that are like falling from the ceiling. But like as opposed to just falling indefinitely where they just like fade out of view, if they hit like a platform or something, they'll kind of do a little like splash with a little fog afterward, and it's supposed to like help you figure out where they are. But like there's no tutorialization, there's nothing that the game like outright says about it. You're just in the space and you're just like, but it looks like there's nowhere else to go, and like you just gotta like look for that. And when you walk across it, it's just a leap of faith. And it's just like you gotta believe that the thing is going to be there based on the information that's in front of you. And like it's spooky, but it's super cool.
Ooh.
It's very much like a trust the process section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is spooky, but I think ultimately like rewarding. You know?
It's like, I'm so smart. I found the invisible pathway.
I figured it out. Ha ha. Look at me go.
Mm-hmm.
I love, forcing things to be some unanticipated way in games.
Mm-hmm.
And it occurred to me, like, when I was, like, early on in, like, trying to, like, break Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
It was like after you finish the first quest in the game where you, like, escape from the castle on fire, which is attacked by a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And, someone tells you, like, make your way to Whiterun and tell the Jarl about the dragon. And I'm like, how about no? Like, if you don't go to Whiterun, it doesn't trigger dragon encounters anywhere on the map. Like, there will be no more dragons in Skyrim until you go to Whiterun that first time.
That's wild.
And so, like, you can just, like, get, like, hell, you can even go to fucking Whiterun as long as you don't talk to the Jarl. And so you can wander the whole world dragon free and, like, complete all these other quest chains. You can be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna become the world's best thief. I'm gonna become a master assassin. Like, you can do all this cool shit without having to worry about, like, and then suddenly a dragon interrupted this quest. Which means that, like, if you do all that stuff first and then do the main quest last, by the time you start messing with dragons, you are so buff. You are so buff. And, like, it is so funny to, like, do main quest last and then show up to, like, the first dragon that you see at Whiterun after you talk to the Jarl, where a guy, like, bursts in and is like, there's a dragon outside. That dragon is supposed to get away. You're not supposed to be able to, like, kill that dragon that you see at that point. Because you're supposed to be, like, level 3.
Sure.
But if you do everything else first, you can just walk outside and be like, oops, and kill the dragon.
You can be like, there was a dragon outside. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it is so funny. Also, if you do everything else first, there is a poison that gets dropped during the quest that finishes the Assassin's Guild quest line, which is designed to, like, kill the King of Tamriel while he's visiting Skyrim. And you can complete that quest without using that poison just by killing the King of Tamriel any other way. Which means that you then have this poison in your inventory. Which means if you can then put that poison on anything. A dagger, an arrow, a sword, whatever. And when you are fighting the giant world-ending dragon, which is supposed to be this huge, long fight, it's if you have coated your whatever in, like, this lethal poison, it literally will just kill the final boss in a single hit.
Amazing.
Yep. Love breaking video games. Breaking video games is so much fun. Which I guess reminds me that I've been hitmanning again.
For sure.
And there's a thing which I've been getting into, which I think is funny as hell. Which is there are in Hitman there are two broken ledges, right? Like when you dump a body over a ledge, they're like the game can register it as this body is now hidden. And normally when it's like a ledge which says this body is now hidden, it's like it's dumping it like outside of out of bounds, right? Like you're dropping it off some cliff, you're dropping it outside of the game space, whatever.
Yeah, no one's really going to see it because literally no one can get there.
Right. However, in the game, there are 2 broken ledges which register a body as hidden forever, but drop the body within game bounds. Which means that what they essentially do is create invisible corpses. Meaning that people will, like, you will get NPCs who will stand there looking at bodies, but they can't, because of the way the rules of the game are written, they can't understand that what they're looking at is a corpse. So
they're very much going like that. Simply not my business. I don't know whose business it is, but not mine. No siree.
It's like there's one of them in like Hokkaido, which like just dumps the body outside of the hospital, and you can go outside the hospital, and you can like, dump it with guards right there, and the guards will stand there staring at it, going like, "Oh, what's this?" And they'll react to it the same they would like a dropped coin noise or whatever, where they're just like, "Oh, this temporarily interests me," but they don't treat it like evidence of a crime or anything like criminal or bad. They're like, what's this? And they recognize that it's some kind of like distracting object, but because it's a body, it's too large for them to pick up. So they stand there staring at it with literally a question mark over their head for a few seconds, and then they go, and they will literally say, "Oh, what's that?" Because that's the dialogue for like distracted but unsure. They'll stand there staring at the body going, "Oh, what's that?" And so I have been building contracts which can really only be accomplished by like making guards not understand corpses. And it is fun. It does break in a weird way because there is nothing that 47 can drag which isn't illegal. Everything that he can drag is illegal.
Okay.
So you can't drag the invisible corpses in front of people. Not because they're corpses, but because you're dragging. They're like, "Oh, that guy's dragging something. It must be bad." But it is entirely possible. Like once you've put them over that ledge, if you can get the bodies back into the hospital, people will just like walk around them, stare them. They'll gather crowds. Like it's so silly. It's so silly. Also, like, been working on learning some other like good strategies for like doing illegal things, like stuff which like probably should have been basic for me longer ago, but I'm just like getting more used to it now again, which is that if you fire 2 gunshots near somebody and they don't see you do the shooting, as long as they're not a guard, 2 shots will panic them, and if they're panicked, they don't understand that you're trespassing if you're trespassing. So, like,
interesting.
Yeah, so if you're just like, you're like, "Oh, I need to get through that room," like, sure, you could stand there, like, wasting a bunch of time, like, tossing coins and having them, like, look in the direction of coins. Or you can, like, quickly shoot the ground near them twice, so that way they freak out, and then just, like, run past them.
Do they acknowledge that you're the person that shot?
No, you see, that's important. They cannot see you be the one that does the shooting, because they recognize that, like, if they see you do the initial shooting, then they're like, "Oh, that's an illegal action. That person is doing the shooting." But here's an interesting follow-up, Tegan. Once they're panicked, so once they're already panicked, then they can see you shoot something, as long as it's not a person. So like, let's say you want to get into range to shoot a fire alarm so you can panic the whole building. But you're like, how do I get over there to get that fire alarm? Oh, I guess I could shoot it from across the room. So let me panic this guy so that way he doesn't freak out when I then shoot the fire alarm. So you can shoot stuff which isn't people. A funny thing that you can do that I guess I now know is you can panic the whole crowd in the initial foyer in the Paris level, and once they're panicked, they don't care that you're shooting, and because you're in a crowd, people outside of the crowd can't see into the crowd. So the crowd around you can't see you because they're panicked, and then the people outside of the crowd can't see into the crowd because it's a crowd, which means that, like, if you panic the crowd, you can shoot the chandelier above the first target's head from inside of a crowd. Just, like, whip out your gun and make the chandelier fall on him. And no one will care, which means that you can kill the first target in the level from the initial starting point within 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Just run in, shoot the ground twice, then shoot the chandelier. And I'm like, oh, man. And it just, like, getting used to these things again, which, like, allow for, like, interesting contracts and speed running. They've actually got a new elusive target going right now. And it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's the level is the ICA headquarters in China. And it's the twist on it is it's rough. So you get into headquarters and you find Jean-Claude Van Damme and you kill Jean-Claude Van Damme. And so then Diana messages you and says, like, 47, I'm getting some intel. It appears to be that he's cloned himself, and you just killed a clone. You've now been authorized to destroy him and any clones he may have created, and so now you have to, like, wander the level looking for duplicate Jean-Claude Van Dammes.
Oh my god.
That's pretty great.
It's so high stress because with an elusive target, once you kill somebody, if you fail, you can never play it again. And so, like, it is designed never play it again. It's locked out for good. That's why it's an elusive target.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I was lucky because I had heard about it before I played it. But, like, because it is designed to ambush the player, the idea that you would, like, kill what you think is the elusive target, then be told, like, oh, by the way, now you basically have to kill 5 other dudes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what God made injectable poison for.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. They removed an elusive target from the game
entirely.
Yep.
Just no one can play it ever.
Yeah, like, so even if you hadn't played it yet and it was, like, still on your to-do list, now you can never play it. And the reason was it was another celebrity elusive target, and it was Conor McGregor.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, based on Conor McGregor being a piece of shit, we're terminating our likeness rights agreement with him, and we're removing the Conor McGregor content from Hitman. which I appreciate. But it basically means that, like, unless you got the Goofy outfit and the Goofy gun that you could get from doing the Conor McGregor pack, you will now never get the Goofy outfit and you will never get the Goofy gun.
You don't think they'll give you another way to get the Goofy outfit and the Goofy gun?
There might be a way to get the Goofy gun, but the Goofy outfit will probably be a little bit harder because the Goofy outfit is like literally shit that like he is like known to wear in real life, and so I
see.
So I could see him like challenging use of like the likeness rights. I mean, I don't know, like people I guess in the past have like done stuff like use cone bras without necessarily saying like Madonna, so maybe like I will hold out hopes that there is some way to get that Goofy outfit at some point in the future. Discovered that there's a way of going out of bounds in the New York level, which is neat. It's even possible on console. There is a ledge that the game understands 2 different ledge interactions at once from it. Like, it understands the pull yourself up command and the hop down off command at the same time.
Okay.
So you can basically tell the game to simultaneously pull you up while jumping off. At which point it pushes you through the wall you're standing in front of.
Okay.
And so then you're able to like go places in the level that you shouldn't be able to. And it's weird. It's weird being able to like run around in the liminal spaces of a Hitman level.
True. Make your way into the back rooms. I get it.
Yeah.
Can you use those as part of the contract?
Not really.
Okay.
Like the trouble is like when you're in the back rooms, really the only way to kill somebody while you're in the back rooms is by shooting them. But like that's going to like lead to like inevitable body discovery because you're not able to like move the bodies while you're outside of bounds, that kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah. But something I did get into, which is pretty neat, which does have application to contracts, is there's a pair of paired items. There is an RFID explosive and an RFID coin.
Okay.
The RFID explosive is designed to only go off if somebody walks beside it holding an RFID coin. The idea, like, place an explosive and then trick somebody into walking beside the explosive while holding that coin and it blows up. It basically is a paired proximity explosive. And if it seems like overly complicated and like there's lots of ways it could get fucked up, the answer is absolutely, you're right. But the RFID coin itself has a whole bunch of properties that I guess the developers didn't anticipate, because the way they basically treat the RFID coin is at some level the game thinks the RFID coin is a person. And that the proximity, like the RFID explosive, is just like the way it's set up is don't explode unless this person comes by. But because the game thinks the RFID coin is a person, then there are things that you can do with the RFID coin like toss the coin into spaces that require a person to walk into them to trigger an event to happen. So you can like start people, like you can move along NPC player interactions. You can make loops start earlier. You can stop loops. There are behaviors that people will only do if they're alone, but if they have the RFID coin in their pocket, the game doesn't think they're alone because they're air quote with someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so because the game treats the RFID coin like a people, there's a whole bunch of ways you can like really fuck with the game depending on where you put that coin. So like I don't even bring the explosive anymore because the explosive, like, whatever, who cares about this part? But the coin on its own has like these amazing magical properties where it's like, oh, I could start your loop earlier, which means that you'll be in a whole place which I didn't anticipate 20 seconds earlier than you should be. Like you can herd people so much more effectively with this coin. Love getting somebody to pick up that coin. And that just it's so good, so good. Is it obvious that I'm waist deep in Hitman again? Like I'm not.
Yeah,
it is, but I'm thrilled for you.
Thank you. It really is one of my happy places. I love that weird, like it's a weird little funny puzzle box machine.
Mm-hmm.
I should see what I would need to do to mount some Hitman streams because I would love to share Hitmaning with the world.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
It's not too hard. We can definitely get you set up.
It's just like a crappy laptop? Seems like I have to buy stuff.
Not really.
Yeah, maybe, but also maybe not.
It's going to depend on what you want to do, you know?
It's true. That's true.
Streaming can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked Ocarina, we've talked Hitman. Rocky, did you play any games that were not herding dogs?
Yeah, play a bunch of stuff. Actually, because I was back home, I got to share some games with my family. I got Her Majesty about 3/5 of the way through Chants of Sennaar, and that was cool. Just like this language this language adventure game that like mirrors like the vibe of like the Tower of Babel. You like wake up at the bottom of this tower and you're trying to navigate the tower essentially for some unknown purpose, at least at the moment. And you keep running into people that speak languages that you don't understand, so you have to like piece together what their language is like through context, and then you can navigate the space. And then like once you get to the next floor, there's a different civilization that has a different language, but they're it's still language. They're talking about the same things, and like over the course of the game, you amass like a series of languages, and you help these like individuals from these civilizations like communicate with each other.
Right.
Ultimately rejoining them as one people. It's neat. But I didn't get to go through the whole thing with Her Majesty, but I wanted to show it to her. And I also had her go through the demo for the Case of the Golden Idol, because I had fun with that last year. There's some really good puzzles in that game. I need to play like the new one. Oh, sorry. I think the new one is called the Case of the Golden Idol. The old one was called the Curse of the Golden Idol, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we did those. And those are a lot of fun. Like you get to like look at these little like there's a one usually you have a scene you have to solve a murder or whatever, but like the key to like solving the murder in one of the screens, it's a bit more complicated, is figuring out who was like sitting at this like poker game at various times throughout the night. That way you could identify the person who had the opportunity to be away, and then figuring out how they got into the room, et cetera, et cetera.
And is it stuff like, Bob was in the fourth chair during the second game?
Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, you know, like at first I think the scenes are very satisfying because you basically like are dropped in the midst of some action. Sometimes you can see the murder live, but sometimes you can't. It's just already done. But you have to figure out who everyone is and then where they were and then what happened. And then once you know what happened, then you can progress to the next screen. That's the idea. But like you essentially start from scratch, and I think that's pretty cool. What else did we do? I sold my brothers on Unicorn Overlord, which is Vanillaware's shot at the Fire Emblem franchise. That I think was pretty good. It definitely has its own fervent fan base. I feel like it should be bigger. But they also sold like 10 million units or something. So like they're doing.
Oh yeah. Like, I was gonna say Unicorn Overlord did plenty well.
Yeah, I mean they did well. I just like I feel like it should be bigger. But that's how I feel about like a lot of like companies that come for like existing properties. Like there's just people like the Fire Emblem fans largely are not going to know about like Unicorn Overlord.
So I have a question since this is Vanillaware. Vanillaware sometimes has a bit of a reputation.
Sure.
What does that mean?
Vanillaware games have had, not always, but very often, a rep for being like a very specific kind of salacious. That that there are like depictions of like incredibly muscular women with huge racks.
Yeah, sure.
And how Vanillaware is Unicorn Overlord?
It's pretty Vanillaware. I'm putting some GIFs here so you can, judge for yourself. I think who I'm looking for is actually Amalia, but I don't. There's a lot of Scarlet, which I'll put here too.
That's because Scarlet's the best.
Scarlet's pretty great. I'm a fan of Melisandre myself, but also I haven't finished the game. I have questions about this Griffin Rider, but Unicorn Overlord is, it's a Fire Emblem like you're a lord that's been separated from the kingdom. Oh, there she is. There's Amalia. This is the girl you're talking about, Brian. And you're a lord that's separated from the kingdom because it's been usurped. And 10 years later, you're on a war campaign to get it all back. But it also is a bit of a waifu simulator. Like there are a lot of waifus in the game. And it's just fighting a war alongside beautiful women. That's not a bad deal.
Also handsome men. There are also handsome men.
There are also handsome men. Yeah, this is not that kind of game where all the dudes are ugly or whatever. Because sometimes they do that, but that's not what we're doing here. No. But yeah, like there's dramatic cutscenes where characters build up support conversations, but the game plays a lot more like an SRPG rather than a TRPG. Like the action is generally rolling, but you can like freely pause. There's a lot of QLs, forward,
which is very nice.
Yeah, also fast forward, Jesus. There's a lot of QL stuff that like makes the game feel smooth in comparison to the things that people are just kind of used to with Fire Emblem, which was nice. It's a very good video game, and I pitched it to my brothers because one of them played through Fire Emblem Three Houses. I don't know when, but they did. And so we talked about that a little bit. And then I talked about some of the other tactics games I've been playing. They hadn't even heard of Overlord. So I just like fired up my Switch and I put it in front of them. They played it for like 4 hours. It's just what they did. So I don't know. Maybe they'll pick it up. Maybe they won't. But it still stands to be a good game.
Neat.
Ooh, also.
They should pick it up. It was really fun.
True.
I'm not even done with it yet.
I'm also not done with it. I think I'm like 80% of the way through like the main story. I'm like on the penultimate continent that I gotta go to, and then it's like one more continent and like the finale. I want to see if there is someone that can like, because I've seen some challenge runs already. I've seen like games where like they've played it with like played the whole game with a single unit, let alone a single like a single like battalion or whatever. But they played through it. They did it. Like Elaine is a good choice, but I've seen some Travis runs that have gone really well, where they just like they only put Travis in, they play Travis the whole game, and that's kind of wild.
They're just like, this is my favorite character. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm not playing with anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I've also seen like one like Swordmaster run. I don't remember if they use Melisandre specifically or if they built one, but like I've definitely seen those. But I haven't seen a run, or at least I haven't looked hard enough to find one, I guess, of like a run where like the moment that you get like, you know, the title like mission like Unicorn Overlord, which is like the last one that you're supposed to do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, I've never seen anyone just like do that speed run the way that they kind of did it in like Breath of the Wild. I do think it's a stat check in a lot of ways, but if it is actually a knowledge check, I want to know about it. I might look into that at some point.
That sounds like the kind of run I could see you doing.
That sounds cool. Like you do the beginning of the game and it's like, okay, here we go, Unicorn Overlord. Because you could, you know, travel the land and like gather all the allies and all that stuff, or you could just win.
Imagine just winning.
I want to know what that's about. Oh man. Also for my Secret Santa, I asked for a copy of Meteos because apparently there are people who are selling like used carts of the game that don't go for too much. And my Secret Santa got me a copy of a Meteos game, but it's not the original DS Meteos. Apparently there was like a Disney Meteos that was made at some point, and they got me that. And I don't know if they even noticed, but I have it. And like, I'm tickled by the idea. I still want to play it. I just haven't opened it yet.
What the fuck is Meteos?
Oh, it is a match 3 puzzle game, but like the idea is that instead of like matching 3 and they disappear, you basically like activate like boosters underneath it, and your goal is to chain match 3s, so that you could boost your blocks like up through the ceiling.
How's it spelled?
Meteos.
Okay, I wouldn't have to look at this.
Yeah, the initial game came out in 2005 for the Nintendo DS, and what I ended up getting was the Nintendo DS game Meteos Disney Magic. I've put both cover arts in our chat for review.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love a happy accident.
It's kind of neat. There's some gameplay videos up about it. Looks like people are uploading like 2-hour like playthroughs of the whole game. I guess that's fine. Because I'm down to play a new game. I liked Meteos. I definitely had fun. But I'd like to see what this Disney Meteos Magic does, if it does anything interesting besides like, you know, just getting the stuff. There's a Winnie the Pooh level and a Nightmare Before Christmas level, whatever that's about.
Sounds like it's going to be an interesting little side quest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll be like a full adventure, but at least a side quest.
Like, worst comes to worst, I might play it like one of those like weekends when I like fly into town.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the game that I normally play, which is the Fire Emblem Shadow of Valentia game, I'm almost at the end of it. Like,
how has that been? Like, I know you said it was pretty good, but like, how good is pretty good?
I like it a lot. Like, I think it actually deserves to be in like my top 5 Fire Emblems with like, you know, the duology, Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, Awakening, and Three Houses Yeah, and then I put like Shadows Valencia, I think like 5. I think it's a really like ambitious DS game to the point, or 3DS game to the point that I don't even think it was meant for a 3DS. I think it was meant for like a 3D console, and they ended up scaling it down.
Oh,
because it's like it's really big. Like you have like in Sacred Stones, you have like deuteragonists that run their own parties across different sides of the map. But also you have full anime cutscenes, and it's not even like just the like trailer or whatever. There's like anime cutscenes like throughout. I think I've gotten like 6 in this little DS game. And like the campaign is big enough to have space for like third evolutions for all the classes. And you know, they have the reset thing where like you can like turn characters back down to villager, so that when you run them through the stats again, they get like extra levels and more stats, and then you can just reclass them. And like they definitely have like a bit more robust like damage system. Like the weapon triangle, for example, isn't exactly real anymore, where like you have like swords beat axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. It's all like just straight up like attack and defense stats now. There are like some advantages, like magic does well against armored opponents, and like archers do well against like flying units, but like that's not really it's not tied to the weapons anymore. It's tied off of like character keywords. So like there are like keywords for certain classes that just get like extra stuff. In like the last section, there's like where like the two armies finally get to fight together. There's like a bot, like a super boss that like spawns enemies. There's a mid boss halfway through that like you kind of can't damage without like very specific attacks. So that it kind of, and like the gameplay has always been like not just like map to map to map, but like you have maps, and then you have like point and click adventure areas where you can talk to characters and like get like lore and stuff, and then just full on dungeon crawling that like has battles that break into like mini tactics sections and whatnot, but you have to like actively maintain the morale of the army throughout like the dungeon section. It feels like really, really big for a like portable like Fire Emblem game. Like I feel like it has all the pieces of like 3 houses, and it's a 60-hour game. And like it probably should have came out for like the Wii or the Wii U or something, but it ended up on 3DS.
One of those like, hey, the Wii U isn't doing super well, we're not going to continue development for it, go ahead and pivot to the 3DS, which we already know can like kind of run a lot of these games.
Like, I mean, splitting up like I could definitely see it like initially being like a Wii U game where you would manage like your map like on the big controller, but like the platform, not the platforming, but like the dungeon crawling and stuff would happen like on your TV. But like because the Wii U wasn't doing so well, they're just like, you know what, we're not going to punch up these graphics and try to force this onto like Wii U. We'll just like run it with like the stuff that we have right now. We'll just get it so it works on, tune it for the 3DS. And it runs well on the 3DS too. So like it's not even like it feels bad or anything. It just like it felt like they were swinging for something bigger, and like they just ended up not going for it.
So all right, it's the new year, everybody, and this talk of like late in life 3DS game that would have been better suited to a different console has me thinking.
Okay.
When do you think we're going to hear about new Nintendo console?
Maybe this summer?
Say March at the very, very, very earliest, but that still seems like too soon to me.
Like, I don't know, man. I feel like the Switch is doing fine. Like,
there were so many people who were just like, oh, it's going to happen in November. It's going to happen in October. And I'm just sitting there like, no, it's not. No, it's not. There's no way, you know? Like, it's doing fine.
That's what, like, I know there's a lot of people who like, you know, repeatedly say like the Switch is underpowered and like it can't compete and all this other stuff. But like, it's selling like hotcakes. And like, there's so much to play on it. And like, people that like, and like announcing a new console will probably lose them more business than it would gain them, honestly. And like, I know that there's like a call for like a stronger portable console, but I feel like the reality of it is that like this thing is doing fine, and like the performance push isn't going to get you a lot more than what you currently have.
I mean, also like I've said it before and I'll say it again, like Nintendo is competing in a different space.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In fact, there's just people trying to take like Nintendo's lunch, and like they're not really doing that great of a job.
It's you know, I've seen a bunch of belly aching about how apparently the, you know, like whatever it is, because at this point, like there are dev kits that have been out there for a while. There are some like reliable leaks about the appearance of the device,
mm-hmm.
And that apparently, just for like a hardware standpoint, the thing is about as strong as a PlayStation 4. And like so many people are like, what's the point of that? As strong as a PS4? Who cares if it's strong as a PS4? Like yeah, there are lots of people who are going to be like overjoyed with that. Like that is more than enough for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so surprising that like you know, like just so many people just like still don't get it. Like that like chasing tech specs. Like Nintendo stopped doing that altogether when the GameCube did not perform. Like the GameCube was as close as they ever came to like trying to play nice. And like when they did that, it did not work out.
It's just like it's not worth it, you know? Like there's like Sony and Microsoft lose money on every console trying to like chase these kind of tech specs. And like it's fine because like their gaming division is like a subsidiary of a much larger company. But like I don't know, man. Like there are people who are like, I want to have like 4K 1080p 60 frames. I want to have the highest numbers possible, but I want to hold it in my hands. And it's just like, what are you going to play on that? Like, what experience are you actually chasing here? And it's just like, I don't know. They never seem to have an answer. It's just like, I want to play Elden Ring and I want it to blow my socks off and I want to play it in bed. And I'm like, that's cool, man. It's going to run for 3 hours. Have fun, I guess. Buy a Steam Deck. And it's just like, no, but I want Nintendo to make it. I want to have Pokemon on it, and I want it to be $250. And like, that don't make any damn sense, man.
What do they say? Like, was it power?
It's one of those you can only have two situations.
Yeah.
I think we lost Brian to outer space.
Brian,
come back. Come over from the war.
Brian, come back.
You can blame it all on us. I don't know what you did. It's our fault.
Yeah. Because if you're talking, Brian, we can't hear you.
Yep.
Try leaving and coming back.
Ooh, what if the headset died?
That could be real.
The true tragedy.
I mean, God, if you want a high-powered Switch, like...
If you want a high-powered Switch, you want a Steam Deck.
Yeah, just buy a Steam Deck. Nice. And then, like... But the thing is, like, they don't want the Steam Deck. They want Nintendo to make a Steam Deck. And it's just, like... That's not a decision that's up to any of us, you know? Like,
yeah.
Fuck, man.
I mean, honestly, it's probably not even a decision that's up to Nintendo.
Yeah. That's true. Like, you want to play something, that's fine. Let's kick it. but like they don't want to play something. They want to spend their money to always have like the most powerful things. They can brag about the powerful thing, and they don't care about the game. They're gonna pick it up and play like Marvel Rivals once, and they decide, you know what, gaming's for losers anyways, and then they won't.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never pick it up again. And it's like, okay, cool, great talk. Whatever.
Someone
man.
asked me when Nintendo was gonna option their IP to be on Xbox, and I was like, never. Next question, like, why would they do that?
Yeah. And it's just like, man, if you wanna play Nintendo stuff. It's not like it's not available, you know? It's not like fucking Cinderella, where it's just like, oh, I want a Cinderella on VHS, but I missed it in '93. And it's like, yeah, you can't buy those anymore. Like, good luck. Like, it's not even, it's like, you can buy a Switch, it's $200. Get after it, man. Have fun. That's a soundboard.
Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
It is me.
Mm-hmm. Did your headset die? Is that what happened?
I don't know what happened. It's a mystery.
A rumor, a legend, even.
All
these things. All of them.
The president's daughter's been kidnapped. It's up to us.
Oh my God. Oh man, the president's daughter! What a scamp!
She's so feisty.
Oh man.
Good Lord. Where were we before I died?
We were talking a bit about the sensibilities around the people that are chasing power for the Switch 2.
Oh yeah, they don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, they don't get it.
That's fine. You know, like that's the thing. Like I'm not mad at them. I've just said that it's not usually worth my time. Like I feel like they don't have a point, sincerely. Like I know what they're talking about, and like I have a feeling about what they're chasing, but like whenever I talk to them, I don't feel like we have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're just kind of yelling about stuff they don't know about.
I feel like those people just want every console developer to be doing the exact same thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing. I feel like there's some things that every console developer should do, but like, usually like when there's like a call for like hegemony or whatever, it's because they're not willing to engage. You know what I mean? And that feels antithetical to me because the whole point of video games, I think, as a whole, is interaction. You know, like it's just like you were interacting with the thing, with the space, with the things involved. And if there are things you do and don't want to interact with, you should want choices, I think. Because you can do like, I don't have to do this here, but I can do this here, or I can do this without this, and et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, eventually you find your spot. You curate a space, and then you get to exist in it. It's yours now. And I think that's cool. But like, a lot of people are just like, I already like the thing that I have, but I want these other people to give me the thing that I want instead of whatever they're actually here to give me.
That's cool. They're not marketing to you.
Right.
Consider you are not the target audience, and it doesn't have to be that you are the target audience.
Well, I think that's probably just because there's this like greater cultural expectation that people have now, because we live in an increasingly insular society, that everybody just demands all other people serve as validations of their own decisions and beliefs.
Right.
You know, like people who want the entire world to just be a hall of mirrors. Like, you know, well, if I like Fortnite, then everybody else should like Fortnite.
You know, that's the other thing. I don't think these people really want mirrors, man. Because like, I feel like competitive games, which is like a thing that people that like, especially they want to like meet them where they're at specifically instead of like meeting the thing, like is a mirror, right? Like you jump into a multiplayer lobby and you get smoked. You get smoked because you don't know what's going on, and that's all it is. You know, it's It's not calling you a loser. It's not saying you don't make enough money or any of that shit. It's just you don't know what's going on. And there are people that take that shit so personally. Like, I paid $60 for this game, and this game told me I didn't know what was up. And like, well, you don't know what's up.
That's all it is. You haven't been here yet. That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a thing called a learning curve. Mm-hmm. You're in it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Just give it some time. Swing on it.
This feels like people wanting all this stuff from the Switch feels to me like the Walmart Birkin bag, you know?
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Uh-huh.
Not the Walkin.
I love the Walkin. I think it's great.
For sure.
10 out of 10. I want more knockoff bags that look and operate like very expensive bags. You know? I think that's how you convince people that your good is a luxury good. Is there simply a mass market effective similar style that you get for $20, you know?
Okay, well, insert speech about fast fashion here.
Yeah, I know that.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm well aware of that conversation, but also, if Birkin made a $20 bag, this wouldn't be a problem, you know, or a $200 bag even. Mm-hmm. If every Birkin bag was an $800 on the low end,
right,
this would not have happened. But that's fine.
So okay, maybe we do need to dig into a little bit. Not the
sure.
whole.
You left an entire marketplace open, and someone else moved in and snagged it, and now you're mad about it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Kick out.
And this might be like where we have gotten to a place where like the idea that like we have all right, so a hole that I fell down.
Sure.
And I would like to...
I love it when Brian falls down a hole. I learned so many things unironically. Teach me what you learned on your Yeah. No, I am so serious.
She's so serious, yeah.
The hole that I fell down is the idea that the preservation of the historical execution of American fashion has primarily now become a Japanese activity.
Yeah.
And that it is because Americans don't have, because of our increasingly top-down, flattened economy, which is erasing a middle class, people no longer have access to the time or funds to allow for things like a tailored suit.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
correct.
Which is why, like, so many people like just look like shit because they can't get a suit which is cut right because they don't have the time to get one, and then if they did have the time to get one, they don't have the money to get one.
Yeah, it's
and
just
because everybody like is going for these like terrible like off the rack clothes, which are all like cut for garbage and are like increasingly just like designed to like, all right, how do we make these things cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, which has led to like uglier and uglier and uglier.
Sure.
There's like become this like incredible like disposability of fashion, and it's amazing to like look at Americans like lamenting, like they like looking at pictures of people from like the 1960s and going like why does that jacket look so good? And it's like well, there's all kinds of reasons that this jacket looks so good. Like this jacket was like cut for the man wearing it, and by like a skilled craftsperson who like had years of experience as a tailor. And I guess where I was wandering into with like the whole like fast fashion discussion is that like we have very specifically for the last like 60 years or so like, built up this entire empire around the idea of replicating like the experiences of like custom couture.
Sure.
At lower and lower cost points. Like we're like, okay, well, like various like major fashion designers will have their runway shows, and then like shit will show up on Temu for like $3. Be like, yeah, this thing looks like the thing that was like a part of the Jean-Paul Gaultier runway show, but it's terrible and will explode after you open the package. You won't even get to wear it once. You'll look at it and it'll blow up.
Yeah. Every seam will come undone.
Yeah. Right. And it's just like this, and like people like don't even know where it came from now. Like this like idea that like it's like
we're disconnected from the source, man.
They're disconnected from the source, and it's this notion of like it's driven by like class envy and it's like this not understanding that like that the root cause is like, no, really, you know, people used to be able to feed and house themselves and clothe themselves and like have time to do stuff. You're like, you know what, I'm going to get a new jacket, so I'm going to go to a tailor, and I'm aware that it's a process that will take 4 to 6 weeks because I'm going to have to stop in 2 to 3 times as they like fine tune the cut, like it's the change in clothes in the United States in like the last 60 to 70 years is it is one of the most telling things about like class erasure. It is like the destruction of like the middle class and it's amazing to like look to Japan where rent prices have not increased at the same speed as they have in the United States.
Right.
And the increase in wages is more closely, you know, like correlated to the GDP. So like there hasn't been like a depressed minimum wage in Japan. So like wages have risen and rents have not risen at the same rate as they do in the U.S. And so like it is possible for, you know, like types of businesses which used to thrive in the U.S. and are now like increasingly just obsolete and disappeared continue to exist in Japan. Like another example is musical instrument repair. Musical instrument repair has like all but disappeared in the United States.
Yeah.
Your trumpet kind of fucked up. Sorry, I guess you're gonna have to go buy a new trumpet. Because like nobody can afford to learn how to get into musical instrument repair in the United States anymore. Because like how are they gonna pay their bills with it?
Right.
How can somebody like run an office supply store, become a tailor, or like anything else which might be like a niche skill set, like niche skills which aren't quite blue collar trade, but aren't white collar office work. Like the so-called like gray trade skills have like so have disappeared in a very, very real way from the U.S. and it's so fucking sad. And like people don't get it. It's such a thing which is tied to class, and like so many of the people out there like lamenting and wringing their hands and crying about the collapse of men's fashion. They're like, "Whoa, it used to be a society." And I'm like, y'all out here with your red hats are voting in a way that ensures that there will be no tailors. Like you're voting in ways that like further ensure the collapse of classes that will be able to like support the gray collar trades. Like if you want to like do boring manual labor until you die because every other option has been replaced by AI, then keep on voting the way you will, and you still won't be able to make ends meet. You'll be working like 8 hours a week and like reading things about how half of that is your air quotes side hustle. Like I just hate it. But like meanwhile, if you want a classic American style like suit, the best place to buy it is fucking Tokyo. It's nuts. Like I don't know if either of you follow Derek Guy, but like he's done like number of pieces on like the best places to look for American fashion in Tokyo, and like the great tailors there. It blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Like the number of like typewriter repair shops in Tokyo, typewriter repair, like specializing in stuff like repairing like Smith Corona and IBM typewriters, American brands, like the art of repairing a typewriter, alive and well in Tokyo. Like you can go and get your typewriters repaired. Like typewriter repair completely has collapsed in the U.S. Like nobody it used to just be a thing that would be part of like local office supply shops. Like you would go and be like, I need to pick up a ream of paper and some typewriter ribbon. Like, oh, by the way, the J key is sticking. Now it's just like, well, why don't you buy a computer? Like we treat everything as disposable. This idea that we buy $1,000 computers to put in our pockets and then just expect that $1,000 computer in our pocket is only going to last 2 years is insane to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, Rocky Tegan, if I said to you when you were like little kids, like, hey, you're gonna put a $1,000 computer in your pocket and then throw it away every 2 years, like, what would you think of that?
I mean, I'd say you were crazy because I've never thrown a phone away in 2 years, so
it's a little wild, but like I know the market is expected to like behave that way, but
yeah,
I also like don't.
Yeah, I am currently clinging to a phone that I have had now for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like the phone is already like behaving in such a way that says like, don't you wish you had thrown me away 2 years ago? The battery will only charge to 79% of the original capacity. And if I do stuff like load newer games onto it, it will become very warm and toasty and unpleasant in my hand. I'm like, oh, isn't that a nice game? Isn't that a nice phone? Isn't that great?
The only reason I got a new phone is because my battery literally was bloating. Like, it was a hazard to own.
That was me 2 phones ago. 2 phones ago, I had a phone that was like, was it 2 phones ago or 3 phones ago? But yeah, I had one of the first generations of iPhone, and I remember when it was like I could make a single 2-minute phone call on it. At which point it would become so hot that it was giving me the physical danger warning. It was like it would be like, "Put phone down, may explode." I was like, oh, okay, I should probably get a new phone because like I cannot even reasonably use this phone to do things like make a phone call if I needed roadside assistance. And so like when it was no longer viable at all for anything, I then replaced it. But it was also like starting to become swole. But like the way that we're talking about our relationships with our phones is not the model. Like most people don't ever have these experiences with their phones, because like they're used to like, I guess, paying for phones in perpetuity.
Sure, yeah, that's I mean, Brian, that's gonna happen with Xbox. Well, I guess whatever Xbox is gonna be, because they're saying your phone's an Xbox, your computer's an Xbox, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything's an Xbox. It's like, all right.
And they're just gonna have people be paying for the everything service. That's one of their goals, man. They're just like they saw Netflix and they're just like, damn, can we do that? Can we just have a Netflix and Microsoft? Well, we sell video games. Perfect. Let's get it running.
Well, I guess this is the part about just ranting about the vampire economy.
Yeah.
Like the whole business model that like BlackBerry was originally engineered around.
Mm-hmm.
Was the idea of like, well, we have to like be frugal and thought conscientious about the way that we push data, because like there's not going to be there's not going to be a lot of bandwidth allocated to data for phones. And then all of a sudden, like, phone companies were like, well, what if we just let people have as many minutes as they wanted? And we're like, unlimited minutes. And then we sell them data. And then it became like, well, unlimited minutes and it's unlimited data. But what if your phone was designed to fail just as you were done paying off the last one?
Yeah.
Like designed obsolescence is so gross.
The guy who came up with that idea, like, we'll never find them. They're living on an island somewhere now, man. Like,
yeah, like what if we built failure into the design? Like,
yeah,
there is not much in this world. Like, I mean, there definitely are things, but there is not much in this world that makes me angrier than the idea that virtually all inkjet printers now require a subscription.
That is insane to this day. Like, Brother's holding out, but even then, like, Jesus Christ.
Like, the idea that you can't simply just go buy an inkjet printer off a shelf and then just go buy ink for your inkjet printer. Like it's a protection racket. Like, the fact that Hewlett Packard is like, no, really, you got to give us money in order to be entitled to buy ink for this printer.
That's why they charge nothing for their printers, so people just get locked in. It's a whole thing.
Oh, like these mechanisms for enforcing poverty are amazing.
Well, we're swinging on them. Like, Canada, like, at the end of last year, like, managed to fix a copyright law that was, like, keeping people from repairing stuff. So now, like, McDonald's ice cream machines and Xboxes and tractors are now able to be repaired. They have the companies involved have to, like, make like, user guides or, like, schematics, like, public so that people can start to work on these things, and that's nice.
Yeah, when I found out that the McDonald's ice cream machines was also a fucking mafia. Oh my god. Like, everything is just it is like enforced dependence now.
Well, they're trying. Yeah.
Like I think you're right on the head with Xbox, Rocky. Like, there's going to come a point. There will be an E3 at some point where some denizen of Microsoft is going to wander out on stage and go like, "We're so excited for the new, like, whatever they call the next Xbox iteration." Like,
sure,
XYZ. I feel like the generation is at some point going to be like the name of it, like the new Xbox Generation X or Xbox Generation S.
Mm-hmm.
Just nonsense where it's like, we're so excited about the Xbox Generation S that we want you to have one. Like, they're like, they already did with the Series S, like a limited partnership with, like, GameStop, where they were having people, like, fucking fill out credit applications at the counter.
Yep.
To, like, fund the thing over a 2-year period.
Yep.
And, like, I feel like the next layer of this is people buying their Xboxes from the Verizon store, just like, because that is an institution which is already set up with the mechanisms of, like, pushing like, $1,000, $2,000 purchases into the hands of people with, like, bad credit and right. Creating, like, mechanisms for, like, enforcing payment. Nothing like the email from Verizon that says, "Hey everybody, just a reminder, your bill is due in 10 days. Verizon, have I ever missed a payment to you? No, but that's why we're telling you your bill is due in 10 days. What's this email? Hey, your bill is due in 5 days. We're Verizon. Log into the Verizon website. Hey, do you need to make a payment arrangement? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm going to click the button that says I'm going to give you all the money. Are you sure? Are you sure you're not in financial distress? Because you can click the financial distress button. No, Verizon, I'm just going to pay my fucking bill. okay, we're now going to send you an email that will remind you your bill will exist as normal next month. What is with this? Like that, like companies like Verizon and AT&T already have the infrastructure to push expensive hardware into the hands of people that cannot afford it, and and I just feel like the Microsoft is like a heartbeat away from making them like the primary distribution channel for stuff like hardware, because GameStop and Best Buy are just not they're just not equipped to hand out that much credit to people who can't afford it.
If I remember correctly, I know like the payment plan thing for this latest iteration of Xboxes that exists, where like you can get like an S or an X, with like Game Pass, and I think like Xbox Live, which are separate subscriptions, by the way. Like you could, I think they were using Dell for the financing at the time. That would run through like GameStop, and I think it's because they were both Texas based. So like you'd go into like a GameStop or Best Buy or what have you, but like to actually sign up for that thing, that billing would be processed through like Dell or Gateway. I can't remember which, honestly. But yeah, they're definitely building these machines that are meant to like con people into paying like a monthly fee for something that they probably can't afford, and that sucks. Not a fan of that.
Oh man. I know it's a little bit of a shift, just based on where we've been at, but like I increasingly just don't know where Sony goes from here. I don't. I know we've talked about it some on the show in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like where like it really seems like as far as like long-term business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like there's a clear path for it feels like there's a clear path for Microsoft and a clear path for Nintendo, and whether or not like I like those things is a different thing, but like at least there's a strategy which can be understood.
Sure.
But with Sony, it just feels like they're placing these like increasingly expensive bets on like like third-person action games, which are like increasingly cinematic. Like when they showed that new Naughty Dog game at the annual Keighley Awards, I was like, oh man, boy howdy, that sure does look like a fucking Sony game. And when I think boy howdy, it sure does look like a Sony game. I am in no way thinking about like interactivity or creativity or ways that they engage the players mechanically. Like when I think about various Nintendo franchises, a lot of what I think about is how those games engage the players mechanically. Like I think about things like shell jumping in Mario, or like the puzzles in Zelda. Like I think about like the mechanical engagement of the player. Like, is there a single Sony series which is currently actively in development that like the first things that pop to mind for you are the mechanics for the games?
I never think about mechanics, so no.
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Like, are there any actively in production Sony series where the first thing that pops to mind for you are the mechanics for the game?
Sony series?
Yeah,
no? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I love that that your response like shows that like it's even like a surprising question. Like Sony series mechanics? No, like because they're so divorced from it, and that's where I feel like the bottom could fall out for Sony at any time. Like if people start to have fatigue for these third person action games, which are like built like giant expensive movies, like then what's gonna happen to them? Like the the sales on the PlayStation 5 have been nowhere near as robust as those for the PlayStation 4.
PlayStation 4 was like generational, though. That's probably not fair.
Like they're the attack. Like, okay, then I guess another thing. Like, even if we didn't just look at it like as far as like hardware numbers move, like attachment rates on PS5 have been much lower.
Yes, absolutely. But that's because they've released almost like nothing of note that like you need to go to Sony for. Their games, like for example, like they got like Elden Ring on it and whatever, and like they're getting Monster Hunter Wilds, but like those are cross-platform,
right?
So like people aren't there. There are going to be less people that will like outright buy a PS5 to play this game, and like even if they don't get anyone in with a particular thing. Like most people that buy a PS5 is because like they're buying on the ethos of PlayStation alone, and like they hope that there's something to play on it, and like people will get like Last of Us 2 or like Spider-Man Miles Morales, and like they'll have fun with that, and then they just won't boot it up unless like there's a new Madden or something.
I mean, the generation of people now that like, you know, and increasingly fewer of them, the generation of people now who have 500, you know, and if they want a PS5 Pro, you know, somewhere if somebody has $500 to $800 to piss away on a video game machine, the generation of people who currently have the money to do that are like millennials, because you know, money is starting to get tighter for the Xers who are like aging out of the peak disposable income bracket, and Zoomers are too young to have that kind of throwing around money. So like millennials like grew up with like PlayStation being a formative memory. Like they probably have very fond memories of the PS1. You know, PS1 and PS2, like when there was just like a, you know, gigantic deluge of games for the console. Like it was weird to see the reaction to when Sony pushed the update to PlayStation 5, so that way the startup for the console would temporarily be the PS1 startup, in honor of the console's 30th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh well, yeah, and it's like, yeah, like I think that like you're right, you're hitting it right on the head, Rocky. That like people buy PlayStation because they just assume there will be games there,
right?
You know, based on their historical experience.
It's not a bad bet, all things considered. It's just like Sony's specifically taking advantage of it.
Yeah, but at some point that goodwill will run out. Like they will run out of millennials at some point.
Yep. Sure.
And when they run out of millennials, like who's like Nintendo's and Microsoft's plan have getting new customers built into their plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's amazing to see people who are like baffled by the ongoing popularity of Sonic the Hedgehog. They're like, what? They're like, why the fuck do kids love Sonic the Hedgehog? Maybe kids love Sonic the fucking Hedgehog because Sega has not prioritized catering to like older players who, you know, who are now in their 40s that grew up on Sonic. They're like, yeah, we got to make new kids love Sonic. Like, so like they have, you know, continue to like focus on like engaging like incoming players.
Man, I would really love someone to prioritize bringing new adults into game spaces. I don't know who's doing that.
I know, right?
But like that's what I mean. Like there, like sure, there are definitely like places like Ireland, for example, where like half of the population plays video games, and like that's a huge number generally for sure. I think it's closer to like a quarter, like worldwide. But like they're adults that would like to like hang out in an interactive space,
like
do like fun.
That number that you quoted, Rocky, is part of why John Romero moved Romero Games to Galway, Ireland.
True.
Because like the Irish government has like any number of like tax incentives specifically for video game development in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, move to Ireland and make video games is a whole fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are games out there which are like hooking and engaging like adults that haven't previously like engaged with like interactive spaces.
Right.
And, like I look at stuff like Balatro and Wordle.
True.
Where people who weren't really like touching games, like suddenly became interested in them.
Man, speaking of fucking, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but I do want to get this thought out. But like fucking, speaking of Wordle, fucking the New York Times, like their largest enterprise now is video games. Like, like I mean, people they don't like talking about it internally. They're not forward facing with it, but they are largely a game publisher that has a newspaper at this point.
Yep.
And like, there is a whole market for just like, you know, companies building like subscription models inside of their stuff. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix's like decision to like chase it as hard as they have is like based off of the missing like owning Wordle, essentially. You know what I mean? And like, I just saw that Crunchyroll is like, I think the real reason their prices are going up this year is because they're doing this. But Crunchyroll has like a built-in game launcher too, and there's like stuff. There's fucking Yuppie Psycho and Crypt of the Necrodancer on it. Like you can just play those in like the Crunchyroll app. And that's crazy to me. But it's more of that happening.
And it's because stuff which isn't games perceives games as competition,
right?
Because like we're in an economy now where people perceive the commodity as attention.
Right.
Like, well, how can we keep someone's attention? Well, if they're not going to sit here and watch Stranger Things, can we entice them to play Fruit Merge? And the answer is no, Netflix. You cannot entice me to play Fruit Merge.
Sony also owns Crunchyroll now.
Right.
So they have a wider access to games, and also Sony is trying to buy every anime streaming company right now.
They are really fucking trying.
Sony wants to own anime.
Mm-hmm. And like Netflix and who else? There's Netflix and there's Disney. And there's another company, Google, technically, I think. I just can't remember what their actual arm is right now. Are all trying to like fight over like anime rights so that they can try to like lock that up somehow. That's a whole fucking ordeal.
Like I do dread the possibility that like Sony would ever, like widen their like attention efforts if they're like, hey everybody, like get the new Sony Plus. It includes access to PlayStation Plus and Sony Music's library and Crunchyroll and and it's only $30 a month to get all this video games, anime, and music.
Yep. Not gonna lie, there was a younger me that would have started bearing the Sony flag over that alone. But
now it just seems bad. Seems bad because it means that there's like less quality control and art is like more readily able to like fall through the cracks. Like we're starting to now get into this like first like one of the things that started happening in the last 12 to 18 months is a whole bunch of movies that were part of the initial glut that Netflix greenlit when they started producing like original movies 6-7 years ago. Netflix's like licensing right for those films has now ended and they disappear from the service, and those movies now have an incredibly uphill climb to find distribution.
Yeah,
because when they try and seek distribution, it's like, well, where have you been? It's like, well, we were on Netflix for 6 years. It's like, oh well, we're not interested. Like a movie has to have some kind of like very niche, like demonstrated like record in order to find distribution now after they go off of Netflix. And in some cases, the original production company which financed the film before they sold distribution rights to Netflix has since shut down shop.
Right.
Which means that the rights are essentially reverting to a company which doesn't even exist anymore. Like, there was a movie on Netflix called Lingua Franca, directed by Isabel Sandoval. By all accounts, one of the best movies of the last 10 years. Hailed as a masterpiece. And once it went off of Netflix, the director has talked about like how much of a struggle she's had getting stuff like a Blu-ray out and and finding new distribution, because the company that the original financing for the film was through doesn't exist anymore, and so she's had to like figure out how to buy the rights to her own movie from a non-existent company.
That's wild.
Yeah, and just so many of these like companies which sell movies to Netflix are holding companies that exist to sell a movie to Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And in short, that's why you should go to Tokyo to buy a pair of wingtips.
World's so big now. Maybe dense. Deep?
I'll go to Tokyo for any reason.
Good to know.
Let me go.
Teagues, you're going to have a full grocery list. You're going to have a full RPG like side quest line. It's going to be great.
I have my passport and a very large empty suitcase. I can do it. Fund my trip to Tokyo. Give me money. I'll do it.
Goal, Tegan. Fund my trip to Tokyo.
Fund my trip to Tokyo. $1,200 for a round trip plane ticket. I'll pay for the housing. I'll figure that out. You don't have to worry about it. Pay for the plane ticket. I'll go. I'll take pictures the whole time. I'll post them religiously. I'll eat whatever snack you pay for.
You gotta have full 2D for that one. So
I'll review all of my favorite snacks. And if I go in the summer, I promise to bring back at least one summer Pepsi. Whatever the flavor is.
What the fuck is a summer Pepsi?
So every summer, Pepsi does a limited edition flavor for soda. When I lived in Japan, the limited edition flavor was strawberry milk. The year after I left, it was salted watermelon. Like, it's a very specific limited edition Pepsi for that summer season. And that's it. And then it's gone forever.
And it's gone forever.
They're so good. They're so bad. I had like 4 strawberry milk Pepsis before deciding I had to like them. I was like, this is my 4th one, so it must be good at this point. But every time I drink it, I was just so baffled. It was so good.
Wow. Strawberry milk.
I will be your favorite American Japanese VTuber. Let me in.
So, listeners, if you're ever wondering, Brian has a very high stun chance. You just got to tell him something.
A very high what chance?
Stun.
Yeah, stun chance.
Oh, yeah, yes. I do not dispute this. That is real. Much like anime.
I keep sending Rocky on TikTok, of course, because I'm on Japanese real estate TikTok. I keep sending him these cute little houses.
She does, it's true.
That we could buy. They're not that expensive. We could buy. We could live there. For real. No. We could have streamer house in Japan.
Isn't it hard as shit, though, to, like, move to Japan?
It's difficult in very specific ways, but, like, you could buy a house for, like, Brian, you could buy a house that would sell in America for like $250K for like $30, $40K in Japan. You do got to pay your taxes up front, and then you need to have a visa that will allow you to stay in the country, but that just means you have to be able to work there. Or like prove it, like they've recently changed one of their visas that like as long as you can prove that you have a remote working job and you make around I think $60K a year.
Yep.
They will just let you do that in Japan rather than wherever else you are. So we'll see how that visa plays out. But it's becoming more and more accessible these days.
Tokyo is also switching a number of their companies to a mandatory 4-day work week.
Mm-hmm.
In the hopes of very specifically attracting foreign talent. So, something to consider.
We
could live in Japan.
I bet that 4-day work week, I'm sure that somebody somewhere with a graph was like, you know what? I bet if the work week was only 4 days long, people might do sex more often.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Positive, yeah.
Yeah.
They've definitely
you know what? If we moved to Japan, I would have a baby. Pretty good education system, universal health care. Why not? Something to consider.
Hey, make sure my wife's being treated well by healthcare before we even talk about stuff like that. Jesus Christ.
That's fair. We'll have to learn Japanese. It's not that hard though. It's just pictures.
No, it's not that it's hard. There was a part of me. I've never told you guys this story, but as a young weeb Rocky, pre-high school, I was very excited to learn Japanese, and I was excited to know that even though I was not going to be able to go to high school with my high school friends for reasons, with my middle school friends rather, the high school that I was going to was going to have a language track where you could learn Japanese. It was it was Spanish, French, and Japanese for some reason. And the year I got there, something happened to the Japanese teacher. They didn't keep them on. So the track just completely disappeared. And I vowed personally that I wouldn't get my hopes up about learning Japanese again. So I might learn Japanese and that would be cool. But I'm a different person now.
We'll all get enrolled in the same language school. We'll go to language school together, and then we can practice at home.
I remember having language school friends. That was a good time. That was Italian. That's a whole other thing. Different era.
Rocky said so many eras. I love learning about them. Just like I love it when Brian goes down a rabbit hole and I learn a bunch of new information that never escapes my brain. I like it when I learn about a new era from Rocky. It's so exciting.
How long was your get hit in the head in the middle of a desert with a Shanai era?
3 years? Maybe 2. No, it was 2 years, 5 months. It was just short of 6. Wait, hold on. Brian, since I was doing math, did you know that 2025 is a square year?
No, now it'll never escape my brain.
Yeah. 2025 is actually 45 squared, first off. And hold on. I'm going to take this from my stream setup. But basically, if you add the digits to 2025 and multiply that by all the digits of 2025 subtracted from each other, and then you square that, you also get 2025. I'm going to put the text in our chat so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to copy this because I wrote it on stream yesterday. It is now in this chat with the alt codes. Wait, the alt code for squared is Alt 0178 on English keyboards, English American keyboards. I don't know if it's different for British. But there you go, Brian. Also, we're going to have a square day, which is September 16th, 2025, which will, because 9 is the square of 3, 16 is the square of 4. And while 25 is the square of 5, so we also get, it's a little Pythagoras action in there. But we already know that 2025 is also a square because, 45 squared is 2025. So look forward for your square year, Brian.
Happy square year.
Yeah.
Happy square year, everybody.
This actually, I think, needs to be an X here. There we go. It said 96 squared, and I was gibberish. I didn't mean anything.
Well, Ramblers, is this a podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Rocky, take us home.
Oh, right. That's right. I do these. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin in 2025. Happy Square Year. If you're here, then you know that that we're a podcast, and you can find us wherever podcasts are found, except for SoundCloud. You know, again, fuck SoundCloud. And there's music at the beginning and end of this show. It was produced by our friend Big Saj. You can find his work on Bandcamp at betweenrooms.bandcamp.com, where he uploads some music from his band. But if you want to just check out the man, the myth, the legend himself, you could find him on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Big Saj NJ, or the social media formerly known as Twitter at Hillary_Swank. I don't know if they're on Blue Sky. Maybe we should check in with Saj, see what that's about. We have a logo. It was designed by Lauren Moran, who is, again, way too good for us. But if you want to support her, you can find her on social media, usually at Lauren Moran, network formerly known as Twitter, Blue Sky, and also Patreon, where she does really good stuff. We have a Patreon, but we're rebuilding. It's a whole thing. So you don't have to worry about too much about it. The things that you might have seen on it would be like our watch-alongs, which we're just in the main feed right now. And our anime episodes, which we are doing periodically. That's right. Teagues, we're due for an anime episode, right?
We are.
Okay.
Winter season just finished, so it's about time.
Yeah, so keep an eye
fall.
out for that.
I lied, fall. Winter's about to start.
Yeah, winter's about to start. We're getting Apothecary Diaries back and solo leveling, so that'll be cool. So look forward to that. You'll see that on the main feed too. But if there's more Patreon stuff to talk about, we'll talk about it later.
I feel like I just have like the vaguest bit of a memory of a trailer, because I came in the day that you were watching trailers for the upcoming anime season.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm sure that there is more to this show than what I'm going to say, but I remember a show that was just elf cooking boobs.
Yep.
I'm glad you can place it with that.
Yep.
Which one was elf cooking boobs?
Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf.
Oh, true. Okay. I was like, that's like three things in my head, but
it was exactly one for me.
For sure. I guess like you take boobs out and then you get like Dungeon Meshi plus other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
think I still stand by the fact that Brian would like Dungeon Meshi, and it is on Netflix.
True. I think Brian would like Dungeon Meshi. And then there's like a plus size elf, which I don't think Tegan would have been showing, so I probably had to scratch that one out.
No.
What the hell is plus size elf?
This little thing. There's an elf that comes to like the real world or whatever, but she gets addicted to French fries and gains a bunch of weight. So she meets with like a nutritionist who helps her get back into shape, and it kind of becomes like a monster of the week thing with like a fantasy creature ending up in the modern world, and through some indulgence in like modern living, they gain weight and they work with this nutritionist to get back into shape.
It doesn't say that you can't eat the things that you like, though.
Yeah, it doesn't say
that. It just says you
all.
have to make sure either you're eating them in moderation or you're working out enough to like maintain a healthy body weight, which is fine.
It sounds to me from where I'm sitting.
Sure.
And I mean, of course, I could be wrong, but like, this is like setting off two different alarms for me. Like, one is the notion that like the existence of fat people is inherently funny alarm.
Oh, nah, they don't do that.
And also the fetishizing alarm.
It's a little etchy in there, but I don't know how hard they swing on it, to be honest. Like, it didn't... I've definitely seen that kind of fetishization before, but, like, it didn't feel like that to me. Because usually, at least when it comes to anime, they get really weird about it. Like, they do, like, inflation stuff. You know what I mean? And, like...
No.
Oh, that's fair. I think you might have, like, marveled at an inflation picture, like, years ago, Brian. You sent it to me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's an inflation thing. And, like, I get that, but I don't know. I think it's definitely a horny show. I don't think it's fetishization, though. Asian disease. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. That's not how I felt about it.
Yeah, that reminds me. I watched a video game movie I had never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It was like secretly good.
Okay.
I was not expecting to be good. I watched DOA Dead or Alive, directed by Corey Yuen.
Oh yeah. That was
and I was like, it's like of course, like the guy who directed Righting Wrongs, and The Transporter would direct a movie which is good. But like I was not expecting it to be like visually compelling and have like absolutely top shelf like fight choreography. It was like it's gorgeous. It's great. I didn't see that one coming. Like, because of all the video game franchises that you would say, like, hey, do you think this would spawn a movie which is worth a damn? Like, DOA right near the bottom of that list. So a pleasant surprise. Oh, I thought of one more thing that's happened since the last time we recorded.
Sure.
Which is the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter the movie. Which is an important date for so many people. But for me, it was Tuesday.
There it is.
Thank you. I think you were up to the part, Rocky, where you tell people they see social profiles that aren't ours to tell them us about it or something. I think
we're also starting to upload stuff to YouTube. You should mention that as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We do that.
Yeah, we're using the Impossible Coin YouTube account, so
it's not against the law.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Like, great. Honestly, there was something that was broken about it that like I had not fixed nor had the bandwidth to fix for years, but it's fixed now. And so we're gonna try to do regular uploads. At the moment, it's just like clips and like the stuff that we're streaming. But that might change in the future. Please, let us know how we're doing.
Cool.
Right. I also should mention the streaming stuff is going to be a little different, at least on my end this year. I'm going to try to focus clearly on like just playing Paper Mario and Luigi games. The prep is mostly done, to be honest, but we'll be starting Monday as of recording. We're going to start with Paper Mario 64. So if you see those, you can catch those on Twitch. And if everything goes well, you can also probably find the VODs on YouTube if you missed a couple or something. And Tegan, I don't know how long Tegan is interested in going through like this rabbit hole, but I know that she's playing Zelda games, currently playing Ocarina of Time. And so if you want to watch The Legend of Tegan, that is also going to be available on Twitch.
Yeah. I like Zelda. Once I finish all the Zelda games, I do plan on doing a timeline thing.
Oh, yeah.
And there are a number of games we won't be able to play on stream just because the hardware isn't supported. But,
Tegan, I think we should have an official Impossible Coin meeting about that.
If you figure out how to make the goddamn panpipes work, I will play Phantom Hourglass.
Oh, okay.
But I can't do it. It won't do it. It's like a whole thing.
Can we get you to play the trash CDI games?
No. That you have to pay me money to play those.
So you're saying that as soon as we get like affiliate stuff ironed out, we could just put that like Tegan is not playing the CDI games unless you pay enough money, and Tegan will name a price.
Yeah, it'll be a goal. It'll be a cash money goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll play them all the way through. I'll get it. I'll get through it.
Everybody, we got to have goals, and this is now one of them.
Oh my god.
Make Tegan CDI. All right, everybody. Well, gosh, thanks for hanging out. YouTube, podcast, Twitch, the whole bit. Peace.
Bye.